Today we're going to compare the Maxi-Cosi Leona2 Luxe and the Nuna Triv Next, two models that we've now had several requests to pit against each other due to the fact that they share similar characteristics with regards to weight, folded size, and apparent terrain capability. So let's jump straight into it then, looking at the advantages and disadvantages of each model in turn, and focusing on their differences in terms of child comfort, ease of use, longevity, and driving characteristics, before ending with a discussion of under what conditions and uses one might make a better purchase over the other. And starting off with the Leona2 Luxe, the model clocks in at just under 9 kilos and folds down to 47 by 59 by 31 centimeters, with the seat attached in the parent-facing position. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and 5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Leona2 Luxe's seat has a nicely upright position and a newborn acceptable near flat recline. Size-wise, the seat is unfortunately rather misproportioned, having on one hand a backrest that can be raised telescopically to a full 56 centimeters, but at the same time having both a very minimalistic leg rest and a baseboard that, at only 20 centimeters, is far too shallow. And as a result, despite offering decent comfort for the first 8 months or so, the model will top out in terms of its ability to provide comfortable seating for most children by around 2 years old or so. When it comes to other aspects of the seat, the Leona2 Luxe has thick, soft textiles and a canopy that provides acceptable sun coverage when using both the extended portion zipped into the back and the sun flap. Looking at parent comfort, the model has a fixed handle height of 102 centimeters and a decently large shopping basket that's nicely accessible from the front when the seat is reversed, but is a little bit narrow to access from the rear due to the wall of the basket itself. As far as folding goes, the Leona2 Luxe folds down easily via a two-step process that can be accomplished with one hand, resulting in a folded package that's decently compact for packing in and out of the trunk. For carrying, there's both a handle as well as a shoulder strap that, though a bit short, is still stretchy enough to get over your shoulder if you're looking to carry the stroller for longer distances. As far as the general feel of using the model goes, right out of the box, the Leona2 Luxe has a pleasantly tight feel in both its connection points as well as its activation mechanisms, though at the same time, the chassis overall is relatively complex, with somewhat thin bars and many non-locking hinged points, and is, as a result, likely to loosen up quite a bit over time. And as far as longevity is concerned then, the Leona2 Luxe suffers from a design weakness in my opinion, with the use of a singular pair of locking points on the handle arms that are not built substantially enough to hold up in the long run to this loosening, which is exacerbated in several places by the use of minimalistic, unreinforced riveting. And in addition, the model has somewhat loose wheels, which may likely lead to wobbling problems down the road. Note that neither of these issues are so severe that the model won't be usable for some conditions. The Leona2 Luxe is not, in my opinion, suitable for all-day, everyday use without a car, but will still hold up fine for travel, or for the more limited use that often comes with car-based living in a smoother suburban environment. As far as driving goes, the model's narrow rear frame makes the Leona2 Luxe feel a bit tippy when steering, but it's not too bad, and the model does have decent-sized wheels, 7 inches in the front and 8.2 in the back, as well as acceptable shock absorption, allowing for use over lighter rough ground, like gravel, smoother dirt paths, cobblestones, and so on, when you need it. Alright. Moving on, the Triv Next clocks in at just under 9 kilos, but folds down to a somewhat taller 32 by 57.5 by 69 centimeters with the seat attached. It can take the same 22 kilos in the seat, but a slightly reduced 4.5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. Looking at child comfort, the Triv Next seat is much better proportioned, having 4 centimeters more depth in the baseboard and a 20 centimeter long leg rest, versus only 13 on the Leona2 Luxe. And, even though the backrest is a tad shorter, 52 centimeters versus the Leona2 Luxe's 56, the total length of the sitting surface is longer overall, and the seat also sits a little higher off the ground, which then raises the age at which the seat will be optimally comfortable for children, gives increased comfort in both the reversed and reclined positions, and makes for less bending for parents when you need to attend to your child. The Triv Next textiles are of a roughly equal feel in terms of softness and padding, and the model has the added bonus of providing extra comfort both in summer and winter via a mesh window in the seat back that's coverable with the seat liner. As far as sun coverage is concerned, like the Leona2 Luxe, the Triv's canopy provides decent coverage, but only so long as one uses both the extendable portion and the sun flap. When it comes to parent comfort, unlike the Leona2 Luxe, the Triv Next handle height is adjustable between 96 and 106 centimeters, and the shopping basket is equally sized, but a bit more accessible. The Triv Next fold also involves only 2 steps, which can be accomplished with one hand, but the process is more intuitive in my opinion. The folded package has the same dimensions with a seat either forwards facing or reversed, which is not the case with the Leona2 Luxe, and the standing position when folded is a bit more stable as well. For carrying, the Triv Next lacks the Leona2 Luxe's shoulder strap, but is still quite convenient to carry by the model's leather handle. As far as the general feel of using the Triv Next goes, while the model is also not loose in its connection points right out of the box, and the chassis is also not quite as complex as the Leona2 Luxe's, the Triv Next is still quite lanky, and also has pretty skinny bars, which makes it strain a bit with a heavier child when steering. As far as durability goes, the Triv Next is also a bit too slight in its overall build to hold up to more than in and out of the car use and travel for the long term. But, that being said, it's better constructed than the Leona2 Luxe in my opinion, with a simpler and sturdier folding system, far fewer connection points, and no problems with loose wheels. It will also likely loosen over time, but won't get as rickety or rattly as the Leona2 Luxe due to its simpler build with fewer connection points. Looking at driving and terrain capability, the Triv Next doesn't suffer from the tippy feeling of the Leona2 Luxe's narrow rear frame, and has more or less the same sized wheels, a tad smaller in the front, but also larger in the back, and similar suspension, making it equally capable of tackling harder stretches when you need it to. So which of these models should you get then? Both the Leona2 Luxe and Triv Next are geared towards the same niche of a predominantly car-based lifestyle, for parents who want a model with a reversible seat, as well as something that can handle rougher conditions from time to time. Price aside, the Triv Next is the better model in my opinion, with its bigger seat, more intuitive fold, more accessible basket, better maneuverability, and simpler chassis design. That being said, the price difference is not insubstantial between these two models, and for parents on a tight budget, the Leona2 Luxe might also be an acceptable choice if you're okay with getting a model that you may need to swap out around halfway through your child's stroller years. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as this sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews that go into a lot more detail, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide available on our Patreon page, as well as through channel membership, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the links in the description. Thank you.